for a long time, personally, that Renata is criminally underrated. This champion is so ridiculously strong.
The dive man.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Almost every team is drafting dive, though, right? It's like every game is a dive game. So I do really like it.
We were actually quite perplexed when we saw T1's first game, where they just insta-locked Ash Renata. Maybe it's telling us a little bit about what's been happening in scrims behind closed doors with a few of these picks that have been very, very good. Speaking of picks that are being good, Callista has certainly been up there. That's going to be insta-locked by Kazi this time around. This time Light not going to have that opportunity, but into it, you can just do exactly the lane we were talking about.
Renata Ash, yeah, exactly. I think it would be really strong. Draven would be pretty hype. We'll see what they end up actually locking in here. Rumble is available. Zaya is banned out, as is the Orianna, but to me, Renata makes so much sense here. You don't have to draft your AD on 2, obviously. You can take a contested pick like the Rel, draft your AD on 3, try to get a winning 2v2. And I just feel like if Callista's not enabled in the 2v2, this pick has so little value because you really have to play aggressively in these 5v5s. It's much harder to actually get consistent damage out because you're so low range, you're so vulnerable when you're really in the mix of things. So if you don't have that winning 2v2, Matt is going to have to do an incredible job of creating space for Carzzy when it comes time to team fight.
Well, I mean, it could be just the same idea that went for last time. Go for the buy, go for Niski on this on the Silas. I mean, it worked out well. At least then you can try and play for early dive and like try and make a place happen there. But
I think the Fizz is the angle.
The blind Fizz.
Yeah.
He's for sure locking it in.
Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense. You get so much mid-priority in the early game. All jokes aside, it's going to be the Ahri Vi. Tale as old as time as far as pick combos are concerned.
But is it just me, or is that such a grief into Renata? You're going hardcore single target pick against a champion that has bailout. To me, when you play against Renata, you need AoE. When you play against Renata and Zilean, it's pick denial. You need AoE damage. You need high DPS to be able to make those decisions very, very difficult. So I find this really surprising. I feel like Mad basically countered themselves in the first 3 picks. And now they can just get their support pool banned out as well. So it's like you're going to have a losing 2v2. You're going to be 5v5ing with Vi Ahri into Renata Rel. I don't know, man.
I mean, especially when you're going to be able to, as you say, like take away some of the support picks. You've now got this Aphelios who, yes, will struggle a little bit in the laning phase, but Light's going to be able to pop off way later with the amount of protection that he has as well. And you've already dove yourself in on top of him, so now the Aphelios just gets the free hit the entire time the rest of Madland just CC.
Well, is he even going to struggle in the 2v2 if you ban out some of these aggressive picks, right? Because if just Hilly on something like the Alistar again, you have no prio. It doesn't matter if the 1v1 is advantageous for the ADC because the support is generally what drives that early laning phase. We saw it from Chris last time. He's standing past the wave 1v2ing, right? You can't really do much about that as Carzzy on this pick unless they have some sort of an angle. So I'm really curious to see what that final ban is. I don't think you care about Alistar at all, as evidenced by this final game. So they're going to go for a really aggressive Hilly pick. One of his kind of old school specials is that pike that he's known for. So to take away those high variance, all-in style champions.
And the first thing that I thought about was the fact that Rakan is still up and available, right? It's been extraordinarily high priority. But I really liked that Weibo decided not to ban that one away because you can crush that lane into 2v2. Yes, in team fights, Rakan is always going to be good, but this sets them up for that early game power that they've been playing around so much. So I really like that. The Silas is going to be taken away here from Xiaohu. And Niski, of course, is not going to be playing that as he's on the other side of the matchup this time around. Let's see what Light is going to lock away.
Yeah, I'm curious now what the game plan is for Hilly. Could go towards a Nautilus and actually just have that point and click CC to try and follow up with the dive.
Yeah.
But it could also be a Thresh angle, honestly. Like, you get the opportunity to look for fish for some of these hooks. You're not as annoying if you end up with a Renata ult that's going across the top of you. And now you've actually got maybe a Lantern that can take you away from some of this Rumble damage. So maybe this is an angle for the Thresh.
How do you win against this? Like, even with just the 4 picks, how do you win against this in a 5v5? Xiaohu's going to have final pick because it looks
We
like
don't ask these questions.
You exit the drop. Exit the drop. That's how you do it.
All right, congratulations. Let's have a remake now.
Yeah.
Did we?
Yes,
we for sure dropped out. That's why it dropped down. So there must have been some sort of an error with one of the picks or something.
Yes. We will be replaying that entire draft. That is not how you get to do redo pick and ban. It's not how that one works. These picks have been locked in.
Go on.
Looks like something has gone.
It was a good try, though. Respect.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta take any opportunity you can find, you know. But that's what we're going to go for. So just going to get back into the draft and exactly sort it down. And what's the optimal pick that Xiaohu can get to make this team as good as possible? That's my question, because he doesn't play all that many AD. I guess Jace kind of stands out with the fact that you probably want to mix up your damage.
I mean, you can do Jace, but you also have a tremendous amount of physical damage, obviously, from the bot lane. So even if they go an AP heavy top side, as long as they have strong 5v5, I'm not super worried. So if I'm him, I'm just picking to not lose the 1v1 because I feel like the other 4 picks have almost guaranteed you win 5v5 already. I think Matt is really going to be in tough. You can't even get any sort of an advantage with the top lane pick because there's not really any amazing answers to Rumble. Like there's no, haha, I got you, you blinded Rumble. I picked this. That is going to lose. So
it's definitely not
tough.
Jax. We figured that one out.
Yeah.
We have seen Renekton do okay.
I think Nar's all right.
Nar's all right.
I think there are picks that can be okay, but they are tough.
Definitely a bit of a tricky one. And with 2 picks to go here for Matt, it is really difficult to get yourself into a better position. But Dagda, you've got to know, right?
I'm curious.
He knows.
I'm curious if it is a Kennen angle for Chasey. Maybe you actually go. You can like 1v1 eventually the Rumble. You can still have a lot of disrupt for going into the backline. And if you can maybe set up for different angles of attack there, maybe that's an angle. But honestly, yeah, this draft is a toughie by every shape and standard.
Yeah, and a roughie. A roughie and a toughie. That's not a combo that you're looking for.
Combo.
No, that's. We've seen wombo combos here today. That is definitely one on the negatives list. Unless you're a Weibo fan, in which case you're having a very, very good time. Of course, this will be the 3rd time the Shy has played the Rumble, unless they're going to do some weird stuff in the lane, but I don't think that's what's going to happen.
And to be fair, you can never count a team out from the draft. The draft gives you advantages and does not play the game for you.
True.
If Matt do get ahead, there's the ability to kind of run over one of these games, right? We saw how far they got ahead through mid lane. If you can get the Ahri Vi ahead, if you can play from that position of power, maybe you can just overwhelm them with the amount of dive that they can draft and really kind of, at that certain point, hey, if there's an overwhelming amount of dive, overwhelming amount of damage, the bailout doesn't always save you. So there are definitely angles for Mad to get things done, but if I was playing, one side of the draft or the other, I almost don't even care what the final picks are. I'm so heavily favoring what Weibo have gotten because I just think it has ease of execution, it has winning 2v2 bot, basically almost guaranteed, and it has top lane that's going to have push almost guaranteed, and you have counter pick in mid. So you're really in tough.
Yeah. Speaking of tough, we have done some investigating, and it showed that Weibo Gaming was hovering Nico, and that pick will be locked. The lobby is being remade with the same picks and bans, so it's not Rumble, it is Nico. So Nico was actually disguised as Rumble in pick and ban, which is really cool. Not only inside the game can you be a different champion, but in the draft as well. You're not allowed to be, so we're going to remake it.
So that's the Shahu answer then. So Shahu was picking on 4, and they're leaving the top lane pick for the Shy to 5. So interesting, because if you're not willing to go towards the Jace and they're worried about the mixed damage, then hey, there are going to be a lot more AD options, I think, that are up there for the Shy. So that does make some sense, but now, maybe you're going to have a better time in that top lane if you're not having to deal with the Rumble.
Yeah, I mean, you can try and take it away for yourself as well. Maybe Chasey wants to go towards that, but yeah, I mean, honestly, my biggest worry was having that Rumble alongside a Rel. But I mean, obviously, there's a lot of opportunities for Weibo to still play a lot of that disengaged style, but at least it's not going to be as vulnerable here. But yeah, I mean, I think if you end up taking the Rumble ultimate across with a Vi, that gives you another combo that you can try and play through. Now, obviously, you're still quite AP heavy with the Ahri there, but maybe, just maybe, that's enough that you can try and finish off some of these low health bars.
I think it might be a Silas ban. And it is. We're back into the draft, of course, as it will be a Nico locked in next, and then we will go about the draft. So there it is. Nico not transformed into Rumble.
Yeah, so Nico does get locked in. I think double AP soul laners is totally fine for that because you have poison and you have vines and you have enough physical damage. I think it's absolutely fine. I just really want to see what is Hilly going to draft, because if he can't give something that makes me believe they can win 2v2, I have so many concerns for this Mad draft. Soraka would be really interesting and would be able to contest the 2v2, so I think this is a great pick. Soraka really strong in lane. It is Cassante blind, so it's probably just the Aatrox, I'm assuming, into the top lane again. But this is going to mean so much in that bot lane. It's all about the Soraka. It's all about, can you hit those Qs, because not only are you dealing damage, you're getting stuff back.
And I think a lot of it as well is, hey, look, can we keep these divers alive? Get that Soraka ult to try and keep them up and topped up as they go in. Maybe you can get the heals off. But, I mean, it is going to be very tough. I think this is definitely something where you're like, hey, look, we need to try and smash bot lane. Let's try and have that poke that can answer, and we need Elyoya to play around the top lane to enable this.
They just needed the pick that could win 2v2. If you don't have a pick that wins 2v2, good luck. There's just no way, right? You have losing lanes kind of across the board. So Hilly pulls something out. We have to see if it works. It's kind of that EU classic. We have seen some Soraka do really well from a number of different players. Trimby's one of the guys that I think of more recently. But Soraka definitely can be very strong. That being said, if you fall behind, it can be really tough to kind of have value. So I agree. It's got to be all about bot lane. Maybe you get Niski ahead and then you try to move that pressure down towards bot, but Farzi and Hilly must win, it feels like.
Yep, it's going to be the first time we're going to see Soraka here at Worlds as well. So Hilly making the debut, the Unicorn Lady. See whether it is going to work out. Of course, like you say, you need to fight for 2v2. This is probably the best shot that they're going to have. Kazi, of course, pretty good playing with Soraka alongside his Kalista. See whether it's going to be enough to get Mad over the line here in game number 2. They have to win 2 in a row to be able to stay alive here at Worlds. Otherwise, a loss here, they will be going home. Weibo Gaming will be moving on to that 2-2 match. So much volatility as you get further on in the tournament. That would give them a shot at qualifying to the knockout stage.
Team that people would be terrified of.
Oh yeah.
In the bracket of making that run. There are some really strong teams that are already down there and it's only going to get harder towards that 2-2 mark. There's going to be so many tough teams.
It's not going to be an Infernal Soul to start us off this game, but you can remember to connect your League of Legends account with Prime Gaming. Grab the exclusive experimentation mode.
Have you done it yet?
Have I done it yet? Yeah, no, I did it immediately. Got to make sure that I represent because, you know, I'm a big fan of Pastry Time and Heimerdinger was the enemy that he famously knew all the ability names for. I made sure that I did not learn Heimerdinger's turret name and stuff like that because it's all just
I have no
gibberish.
idea. Yeah.
I made sure I didn't so that his legs would speak the line.
That's true.
Yep, that's how that one goes.
Also laziness, but mostly friendship.
No, friendship.
It's a good excuse for laziness. And you have to be creative to make sure you can live with yourself. I was trying to segue it, but I don't think we can segue lazy into this game because everyone...
These players aren't lazy. Let's get on to the ring.
Hey, there we go. That would have been awesome.
They're all friends.
Oh, is Kazi representing Bang towards the bottom side? It might be. The SKT skin. Been quite a few of those. Okay. Let's see how this early lane goes. As already, Shahu is trading with Niski. Blooming Burst not going to do too much, just one tick. Still pretty even as far as these trades are concerned. We'll see. Can Niski get the same kind of lead that he got in the last game this time on the Ahri?
It's a big ask. He had monstrously, went godlike early on that Silas and was playing so well around mid lane, but nicely timed on the E there from Crisp. He want to use the E reactively as the Soraka Q comes through, but really anytime you play against Soraka, it's just all about how many Qs can you dodge, because the trades go so health positive when you hit one, because you're dealing damage and getting all the health back. It also amplifies the healing on your W, so it's all about how many of those can you dodge.
Yeah, really nice. Speaking of dodges, from Chasey there towards the top side. Shy not going to be able to hit that Q, and therefore the Cassante able to win out in the trade.
Yeah, I want to see, though, how we're actually going to get to play from Mad Lions, because ideally I'd love to see them, hey, we get pushed, let's go into the enemy jungle, get some vision down without cards or killing correctly. I mean, actually, they're only two sweepers and support, and they've already used their ward as well. So for Mad Lions, they're going to be a little bit blind on this bottom side to actually try and get that vision down. At least in the moment, Elyoya will be down on the bot lane, and we already know that Weiwei loves to go to these early ganks, so we'll have to see if that's indeed.
Well, so far, it is just Weibo Gaming weathering the storm. Decent little silence there, but Hylissang's going to take a bit of damage back as well. Crisp just trying to make sure that he can keep the health bars even. Of course, trading into Soraka often just feels bad unless you can kill her. There's just a fair bit of extra sustain in that lane. Having a look over here, you can see Vision in the river. Weiwei is going to possibly just crash on top of it.
We're going to see Elyoya. He's going to be spotted on that ward now, so now you can look for a lane gank potentially.
Opportunity,
or
could wrap around and look for Elyoya, but instead it is just going to be Scry's Bloom, and he is going to be spotted out. And just going to be some biffo here between the two junglers. Aftershock is going to wear off. There's 2v2 and 1v1 happening at the same time. That's fantastic though as well. As the Star before landing. Hillsong is going to get pushed back by the handshake. The junglers are going to disengage. I need to hold on.
A little bit of a mid-push in there. I was a little bit nervous for Elyoya. As you see, the Xiaohu had already started to try and push over, so Elyoya have to make a safety down towards the bot side and over the Dragon Pit, but not really in a position to contest that. He's going to reset now and try and go for that top side scuttle as well. But honestly, you may see the contest here, especially the Shy trying to get onto Chasey who has no mana.
He's going to land the chains. And will be pulled back, but doesn't have any more cooldowns, so he'll be fine. Manages to get the cannon as well. If you've been to the Church of Doran, you know that they're not actually very useful at all. Oh my goodness, the Blooming Burst. Hits 2, doesn't get the 3rd. Wouldn't have quite been enough, but Niski, I think, is going to have to go home.
Very likely. He's going to have to be really careful about now. It's getting pretty dicey, because as you say, you see really low on mana, but did pop a biscuit, I think, there, because he's got a little bit of injection of mana, and Kasante's mana costs are ridiculously low.
Just a little bit. That Q is kind of disgusting when you're able to battle like that. But, I mean, still, the Shy doing a good job of keeping control up there. Just what the crap does end up going to Elyoya in the end. He just came back.
And he also didn't get all of his health back. Tried to make sure that he got back as quickly as possible to get the extra experience. And so Niski now at 50% as he heads home. Xiaohu, every bit of damage he can get is pretty much free value, and Lens is going to be used here, but now Crisp is in trouble. He has to use his flash. You'll take that trade if you're mad.
Yeah, things are getting pretty awkward for Weibo down to the spot side. They need some sort of coverage, because they haven't been able to get the wave. As you can see earlier, Ellie and Marcy were just holding that wave. They know they have the advantage in the 2v2. This is going to stack and bounce eventually, so I think they may just be taking a recall here, but with Elyoya moving down, they could be in trouble.
Yeah, I think they need Elyoya to push, but there's the kill.
Oh, the pump blossom does come through, and Xiaohu's looking for it. Niski not going to take too much damage here, because of course he doesn't have all of his items yet. Niski is still going to have to flash away from it.
Nicely done there by Xiaohu to get the play onto Niski. Uses the level 6 advantage, but Elyoya now in the spot side. There's the CC.
Kazi in trouble, and Weiwei was lurking in the brush. And now the Vault Breaker will be turned around. Never mind, he's back in onto Weiwei, taking a fair bit of damage. Kazi needs to be careful with the silence onto 3 is massive. Just going to get Weibo out of here for now.
Elyoya needed to be down here because he still had that Gravitum gun to set up onto Karzi, who has no cleanse.
The flash forward for the Pierce, but he doesn't quite land it. And there's the Gravitum as well. Red-White comes in. The Vault Breaker's decent, but that is going to be first blood. The bailout is in as well. It's not quite going to be enough, though, as Elyoya picks up the double. Light is going to collect one as well, though, and it is just a bloodbath in the bottom lane.
I mean, the kill going across the light is huge. Karzi thought he had the play, but as I was just saying, the Gravitum was still up for light. He has no cleanse on Karzi. He goes to play, it fails, and immediately Weibo turned that around.
Yeah, he's trying to look for that big play, flashing in for the Q. Unfortunately, this time the light at the end of the tunnel played for Weibo, and crushed you as he went in. We gotta watch it one more time. I mean, I like this initial trading here. You watch this Soraka, big silence comes through. They get some really good chip damage. Light is completely owned. But then it's Karzi who tries to go big here, gets the level up, flashing forward, does not connect. Would have been really close. I think he likely would have had it, but then no flash, no cleanse. We're back to live.
Yeah, in the meantime, Crisp is just going to get punched. That is going to be the kill. Going over to Mad. Court warding, I think, as we came out of the replay. Xiaohu is not going to have the charm at this point in time. Xiaohu's offering back a lot of damage at the mid.
This will give control to Karzi to go for this dragon, though. They already have to push in bot side now. Chris isn't there, but anyway, he still wants to try and fight this for Xiaohu. That ultimate is just about to tick back up for Xiaohu.
Yeah, they're going to have to get out of their light here by himself towards the bottom side. You can see Chris making his way back in. Chasey with a very large mid wave to deal with. The Shy is being thrown around like a ragdoll a little bit. It is Chasey that is a bit worse for wear under this throne. Shy having a really good day today, and that is going to be the Drake secured by Weibo Gaming.
Shy making such a big difference in that last game with Chris. Even though it was light picking up a lot of those kills, those are the two big difference makers for me in the 5v5. And they're back on the same champions, right? They have that ability to really make all the difference here once again. And we talked about Mad really needing to win that bot lane 2v2. They were winning out in pressure. The fact that Light got a kill and an assist from there, and Karzi defending numbers got nothing for it, means that this slight CS advantage, well, it's a pretty good CS advantage. It doesn't really mean much, because it's not going to amount to a gold lead.
Well, we're looking for that season assist from Elyoya. Light just playing right on the edge of the range. Still has flash available. Yeah.
I think at this stage it's just a case of, hey, we can help here, maybe look for a pick, but help Crash, but he's now left, and Weiwei's now in the area. I don't think Karzi knows this.
No, No, he doesn't. There was no pings. They didn't spot him. They had that scuttle and that ward over the wall, but they didn't see him.
Yeah, there is the crash down. The Magnus Storm onto 2. The point blank ultimate as well. Now Kazi is going to get healed by the Wish. He's trying to dance his way out of it. He knows he's not going anywhere though, and Light is going to secure it. Hylissang just with some starfalls from under the turret. It's not going to be enough to get any sort of kill back. Meanwhile, Elyoya finds a cease and desist onto the Shy, who just says, I'll just press World Ender, look for a flash, and gets over a big fat part of the wall.
Hey, at least you managed to get Elyoya who can start up the Rift Shard and take that, but Hilly, you already stuck around in the last game. What are you doing? What are you doing, Hilly? That's 2 games in a row.
It's flashback to last game. It's the Alistar play again, sticking around, trying to greed from the golden experience there at no health. Gives over another kill, and it's to Light, plus the plate, plus the CS denial. Light is now going to be miles ahead.
And he's on an Aphelios.
Yeah, but one thing working here for Matt is just he's lying in wait. Handshake was nice, but there's nowhere for Griff to go.
I mean, Chris gets caught out here. Great pick from Mad Lions to try and set this up, but this here is just greedy from Mad Lions from start to finish. You want to guarantee the wave crash, but obviously that's going to be a wave to try and win anyway. They could have been back to wave, and then come back to wave and just walk. We could have come around to try and get that extra little bit of damage. Wave over to get in. Really good gank time from Way. Now Chase team.
Looking for an opportunity. He's pulled back by the chains, but now Elyoya is going to smite the Shy. Trying to take this, but it's just going to be a punch to the head, and that will secure it here. Good gank there from Elyoya in top lane.
And that's nice. That's something they get out of that earlier play. They force his flash, they force his ulti on that play, so there's the follow-up. He just got back to lane, does die. JC's going to be able to push in. He already got 1 plate off the earlier play, and now the Sheen can whack away, potentially grab a second plate up on that top side, but Shower is pushing up their mid. He gets a significant advantage there, and they have that advantage down on the bot side, so the Cassante being a bit ahead is nice, but is it enough?
Just have to see as Hylissang is going to find Way. He gets the crash down quite long enough. And now Chris not going to get any handshakes from over the wall. Weibo just going to settle for some shellfish and go about their business. Looking at the top of the screen, a very slight advantage here for Weibo Gaming in the end. That's still holding on. Similar feeling to what we saw last game as JC manages to get an all-out under the turret, and that's going to spell the demise of the Shy.
I, for one, am shocked that Cassante was able to do that. I've never seen anything like that before from Cassante, but Elyoya, great timing there. Top side to try and help finish that one off. The Shy getting invaded just a little bit. If you want, Elyoya going to make it happen again.
Yeah, if you want, I can introduce you to Showmaker. He has a lot of things to say about Cassante. He's pretty good at it. As Charm is going to connect. A little bit of poke there from Niski. Nice work as he makes his way into the pocket.
Elyoya also 4 kills here now on the Vi, so he'll have to do a lot of the heavy lifting because he's gotten every single kill for Mad. Does have that early mythic, but Way on the other side has his completed as well and is hovering again around this bottom side. They're just denying Carzzy as this win condition. They're trying to hold him down.
But it feels very similar to last game, right? Where
look at mid. Mad want to dive mid, I think.
So they can make it happen is immediately out of the teleport. Shadow is going to be come. It does be alright. They get the plate and they move on it.
It does feel like exactly the same as last game. Dive heavy on Mad. You've got Light that you need to try and take down. Yes, you've got good opportunities to try and go for it, but we've seen how good Chris can be on this. Xiaohu even having the extra little bit of, hey, I'm going to find space with Light. It's very, very difficult for Mad, even with the kills that Elyoya has, to try and turn this one around.
Right now, holding the battle line between these two teams. Nothing, no lead for anyone. Outside of one Infernal Drake, Dragon going to be up in 8 seconds. You can do the Mad can even that one out as well.
Mad would love to get a kill into a Herald drop, get some significant reward. That's why I kind of thought they were going to be looking for that dive around mid, because they knew that Wade Xiaohu was coming back as the all out.
Yeah, another all out onto the Shy here as Chase. He's going to eat the CC. It's nicely done. World Ender, he's going to give the Shy the movement speed though, but the dash is going to be there. The Q is going to miss. Carzzy's under the turret. The Shy just touches everything! And Chase, he's going to fall!
JC will dance no more. Just got his ankles broken by the Shy in the top lane. Wanted that kill so bad, wanted to push for it, but the Shy with the sidesteps.
That had the most nice work kid energy to it I have ever seen. As Xiaohu is going to try and get them out of the river. He is going to be able to achieve his goals. And Weibo Gaming, that an advantage that they have. This place is going to go to the Shy as well. Looks like the second drink is on the menu.
especially with the position that Crisp is in. An ultimate over the top of that wall caused major issues for Matt.
Now we have to collect ourselves, see whether this Drake is going to be contested or not. Shahu in the mid lane. This wave out. He is going to catch it. So back to neutral. You see, Elioya with all of those kills is the only one ahead. Very similar master card lane economy snapshot as what we saw in the last game, but this time it's Elioya instead of Niski.
And on the reset, it's just going to be a freebie for Weibo. So you're playing into the Kalista. You're the one with 2 early dragons here. And it's not going to be that chem tech, which means pretty much all of them are very good. I'm sure that they're hoping that it's not going to be a cloud toll, but even that, I think with their composition, is pretty good, especially for the Aatrox.
I was going to say, for Weibo, you're happy out. I mean, the fact you end up with the 2 dragons against the Vi, Harry, Kalista, but here, Chasey, sometimes you really wish he was called Walk Away. For God's sake, he didn't need to follow underneath the tower.
Oh man, the Shy really just found every little angle. This felt like he said, I have you now right where I wanted you.
That's a high ground. It's over.
Indeed.
Maybe.
Well, now Matt set up for a bit of a gank onto Shahu. There's the Pop Blossom in answer, but I don't know whether he's going to be able to get... Oh, never mind! He's got the stopwatch! And now Weiwei is there. Kazi is going to try and get out of there. They do have the Fate's Call. Now Hylissang is a sitting duck. Ooh, Moonlight Vigil just barely going to go wide. Now Light's looking for it. There's the flash from Kazi as the Shy. He's running his way underneath this turret. Can they get this dive to work? As Hylissang is going to come on through there. They don't find the hostile takeover, but there's the Infernal Chains. Kazi just trying to get as many autos as he can, and Chasey is going to be here. Keep the rest of his team alive, and Mad will walk away, but just barely.
They walk away, but there's a lot of flashes for us. Honestly, on both sides, the Shy uses the flash, Weiwei uses the flash, Chris uses the flash, uses that R flash again. They're just loving to go for it. Really prioritizing, setting up the angles here on the Renata, trying to get that perfect ulti as the Shy was wrapping around. But at the end of the day, it is Weibo that pushed them back, that survive again. And every time one of those plays fails to Mad, you have to feel like that clock is ticking.
And I think they know it. That's why you're burning that many flashes to try and make something happen on that bot side. But now you get the Shies have to walk back with his top side. Or Drinker, you're going to look to drink out the way. Well, I think take a little bit of wait for some of those ultras to come back up. Maybe that gives an opportunity for Mad to try and contest on towards this. They actually didn't use as many ultras in that equation. At least they're just cooldown.
Shy now looking for another opportunity. Niski going to get knocked up. There's the Infernal Chains to pull him back, but out of cooldowns. Okay, everything's going to miss, so it's going to be fine here for the Shy. Weiwei now in this pit, looking for another Richter. They're not going to be able to get it. Shy gets hooked. He's going to move back though. Weiwei is going to coax her over, and it looks like Weibo Gaming are going to retain control of this area. Kazi going to break the chains. Still, Weibo Gaming collects this. Can they get the eye is the question? It looks like the answer is yes, as now they're looking for even more. Pop Blossom, the flash forward from Shahu! The Hylissang is going to get that wish out, but Kazi's not going to survive through it no